deep. That's really, really deep. Oh my. Oh. Yes! Yeah! That was deep. Have I still got a GoPro on the roof? What a beautiful day we have today to put this through its paces. What is this, I hear you cry? This is an Isuzu DMax AT35. Now, many years ago, back in the good old days of Top Gear, when they did things that were actually really good, you may well remember that the guys drove to the North Pole in a Hilux. And that Hilux was prepared by a company called Arctic Trucks. This is prepared by Arctic Trucks. This is an AT35. It's on the biggest set of off-road wheels and tyres I've ever seen, and Bilstein suspension. It is a proper bit of kit. And when Isuzu got in touch with me and said, would you like an AT35 to play with? I was like, absolutely. And then I had to think, how am I going to put it to the test? So I got in touch with a mate of mine, James Parrett, who actually organised this through Crawfords because they are an Isuzu dealer. And he said, don't worry, Ped, I've got your back. I will take you somewhere that will put this to the test like you wouldn't believe. And that's where we are today. This place is just an epic off-road adventure waiting to happen. We've driven in. It's kind of dirtier than any press car I've ever had, ever. But I think this is clean compared with what it's going to look like by the end of the day. But before we get spanking this car off-road, let's have a chat about Isuzu and the DMax and the evolution of that vehicle all the way up to this epic AT35. Now then, welcome back to the channel, my mate James.
Thanks, Pete. Nice to see you.
Now, if you guys have been following the channel for a while, my 100th video, which was a long time ago now, was filmed in Aston Martin Chichester, thanks to you.
Yeah.
We did stuff with Vantage and DBS Superleggera, and we went down to Aston Martin, simply Aston Martin.
We did.
Then we went and drove a big tractor.
We did.
Just before lockdown.
That's right, yeah.
And that was the last time I've seen you.
Yeah, it was. It was the week before lockdown,
I
wasn't
know.
it? So,
I know.
time flies.
But we are here today at your new gaff,
Yes.
Crawfords.
So welcome to Crawfords and our new branch of Crawfords Automotive.
Yeah.
So we split the business out last year because Isuzu became such a big part of our agricultural business that actually now it stands on its own 2 feet.
Yeah.
So welcome to Crawfords Automotive.
Cool. So what we thought would be really useful to do, obviously we've got the ridiculously massive and huge DMax AT35.
We do.
Which is just an insane thing. But we thought it might be interesting to kind of look at where that comes from and a little bit of the history of the DMax, because I find it's really interesting. So this one here.
So this is a 2020 Yukon.
Yeah.
So what we've got to remember is DMax was launched in 2012.
Yeah.
And it had a big facelift in 2017 where they made it a slightly more efficient engine and a few more luxuries involved.
Yeah.
But this is a machine or a vehicle from 2020. It's a bit more of a basic spec. This is what we would have sold a farmer.
Yeah.
Sort of 3 years ago. And it's amazing how the vehicles have changed since then. So, as I say, real agricultural market. You might have got a guy with a boat, wanted to tow his boat, not to worry about it. But now we've gone massively lifestyle market, which we'll have a look at in a moment.
But this Euro pallet in the back.
Euro pallet, it's always had a ton payload.
Yeah.
And it's always had a 3.5 ton towing capacity.
Yeah.
So we've got a lot of guys that use this for many, many different reasons.
Which if you're not buying for business, you might not realise. But if you can get a Euro pallet and a ton capacity in the back,
that's right.
When you buy it, you claim the VAT back.
Yeah, exactly right. So
just dropping a few hints there, Grenadier, because you can't do that with a new Quartermaster. Anyway, let's wander on. So this is now your company car.
It is. It is.
But the reason this is interesting is we've got the AT35 parked next to it, but this is where that starts.
So the lovely thing with Isuzu, and it's never been any different, is that they all come into the country as one spec.
Yeah.
So when we sit with a customer, it's do you want a manual, do you want an automatic, and what colour would you like? And then we decide which of the 4 spec levels you go with.
Yeah.
They come into the docks at Sheerness in Kent, and then they get shipped to us as a bare vehicle. and then everything is done via accessories.
Oh, wow.
So that vehicle we just saw had a little tonneau cover on the back.
Yeah.
This one's got a canopy, it's got
Yeah.
side steps. Everything
So
is done.
you put all of those
here.
on at dealer?
Exactly.
Wow.
So then it basically, you could then say, well, actually, if you wanted to, I want to turn my V-Cross into an Arctic truck.
Yeah.
So Arctic truck is an Icelandic sort of adventure vehicle, if you like, and
Yeah.
they work with different manufacturers, but the AT35 and Isuzu worked really well together. But they come in as a V-Cross, and they go to Banbury, to Arctic trucks, and they get transformed into the monster you're currently experiencing.
Well, yeah, because, so if we wander over here, by now you've already seen it, but
Yes.
this thing is epic in every way. So what kind of things are happening on here? I mean, there's some fairly obvious things. It's got a big wheel and tyre package on it.
It has.
Has it got a different suspension
It has.
as well?
So Bilstein have gone right through the vehicle.
Yeah.
And the thing I still can't believe every time I'm lucky enough to drive an AT35
Yeah.
is how you can make a vehicle handle like it does with those tyres.
I know, and
They're
there's not a
35-inch
huge amount
tyres.
of raw from the tyres as well.
No,
but-
no.
Yeah.
So they do a bit with the chassis. They do a lot with the suspension systems.
Yeah.
But it still has that ton payload.
Yeah.
It still has the 3.5 ton towing capacity.
Yeah.
Which of course our friends at Ford can't do with the Raptor.
Yeah.
So this is becoming quite a good business opportunity for business directors and so on.
And this AT35, so this is the most extreme one.
It is.
With all the toys, okay, and we'll play with it in this video. We're going to get it really muddy, okay. It's a little bit muddy now. We're going to get it like really, really muddy. But it's got the roof rack on the top there. You can put, I don't know, jerry cans and
That's it.
off-road supplies and whatever you like. There's some nice towing eyes and stuff to strap things on. You might spot at the front there's a light bar there, and I also spotted the one behind the radiator
Yeah,
grill as
there
well.
is. Yeah, because the two individual laser lights.
Yeah.
So we work with laser really,
Yeah.
really closely. And anyone that wants that extra bit of light,
Yeah.
then yeah, laser's the guys to go to. But that light bar across the top now is their newest one.
Yeah,
and
but
it's phenomenal.
basically when you go full beam, it's like the sun comes up.
Oh, it's unreal.
Yeah. And then on the back, this is the bit we're going to have to put into test. Right on the top, above the hard case, is a roof tent.
It is.
And inside is an outdoor kitchen.
And it works.
And it works. So we're going to put that to the test because it's a lovely sunny day. So next up, we're going to go and get this very dirty. And then we're going to go and find a nice place to camp for the night. And maybe I'll get my sleeping bag out. But anyway, good to be back. We need to come back and drive some big tractors.
Anytime.
Yeah, I like big tractors. But
Anytime.
next up, let's head over to a place very close to here called Slindon, where we're going to get it really, really muddy. So driving this car on the road is really good fun and very interesting. This car is huge. And I know I've driven some big cars recently, any big 4x4, a Range Rover. I had that MSRT Ford Ranger for 6 months and I thought that was big. It's nothing compared with this. And I don't think it's length and width wise, it just feels massive. I think the massive wheels and tyres on it, the higher ride height, it's a big old bus this. It's wicked. People get out your way, that's for sure. The other thing is this is a manual, which is quite unusual, I think. When it got delivered, I was like, oh wow, okay, manual. Now, we're on our way to take this car off-roading, and for me, actually, off-roading is really where a manual comes into its own, because you're going to hold it in gears and so on. And a lot of automatics, when you go off-roading, the first thing you do is you put them in manual override so you can hang on to the gears. So I think off-road, it'll be interesting to see, but this manual gearbox will come into its own. On the road, not so much. I'd much prefer to have an automatic box, and I can't believe I'm saying that because I'm a big fan of manual vehicles, but manual sports cars, engaging drivers' cars, for sure. Something like this, I think a nice big lazy auto would be a much nicer thing to drive. But on the whole, the worry I had when this car was delivered is the wheels are so big, the ride height is so high that it would be not a particularly pleasant thing to drive on the road. But that's just not the case at all. It's got enough grunt and it gets down the road well. I'm just looking at the stats. I'm averaging 30.4 miles to the gallon so far, which I think for a vehicle of this size and scale is really impressive. interior wise, it's a comfy place to sit. These seats are lovely, and considering its base car is very much aimed at the agricultural market, I think what Arctic Trucks have done with this conversion is really take it into that premium space, because it feels really lovely in here. There's leather on the dash tops, the seats are nice. It's a nice place to be. It supports wireless Apple CarPlay. I've got a wireless charge map for my smartphone. The native MMI isn't great, if I'm honest, but when you're using Apple CarPlay, it's not a massive grumble for me. It does have the modern day annoyance of bings and bongs when you go over the speed limit, or when you veer out of your lane. The veering out of your lane, that amuses me, because in this thing, you veer out your lane, anything you hit, you're going to drive over it anyway, so it's probably not so much of an issue. But yeah, no, to drive on the road, really impressive. The last thing to mention before we go and get it muddy is parking. I took this to the supermarket yesterday, and it's such a long vehicle, it kind of takes 2 spaces. And it's such a wide vehicle because these tyres stick out. You can see how far out the wheel arches are. It really does need more than a single parking space to park up at the supermarket. So yeah, it's huge. So here we go, bit of behind the scenes. I got my mate Nick in the back of the DMax in front, and we're just entering this amazing off-road facility, getting some shots, getting a bit of B-roll for the GoPros. I've wanted to come here for a very long time because apparently it's really, really awesome. Oh wow, yeah, this is we're gonna have a lot of fun here. A lot of fun here. So one of the things we wanted to do was to really put this DMax AT35 to the test off-road. I've wanted to do this in a video for such a long time. Let's start with some axle articulation. So I'm in 4-wheel drive. I'm not going to use diff lock for this. Put the window up just in case I get really muddy. This is quite spiky apparently, so let's give this a go. And we'll try and get a bit of, you know, bit of axle articulation going. Here we go. And then dip the nose in there. Dip the nose in there. Oh, we can do this. We're doing this. This is good. Oh. And then, yeah. Piece of cake, absolute piece of cake. I reckon we should try the should we try the difficult one? Okay, yeah, there's an extreme dragon's tooth thing, and we're going to do that. Apparently this will do it. There's only one way to find out, people, only one way to find out. It's when James goes, yeah, we need a spotter because it's quite full on. Oh, right, really? Right, okay. 4-wheel drive and diff lock engaged. Right, I'm going to have this window down so that James can shout at me. Here we go. Now. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. I think that technically is called cocking its leg. Just smiles and keeps on coming. Yeah! Only a little ground out. Woohoo! So we're going to go and find some water, but as we're going through these woods, I'm in two-wheel drive. I've not even put it into low ratio or high ratio four-wheel drive. It's just two-wheel drive and this thing goes anywhere. It's unbelievable. It's a bit wide through some of these narrow woodland trails, that's to be fair, but the ride height is so high. I haven't actually ground out yet, touch wood. It's an astonishing bit of kit. What?
If they called that off for yesterday,
yeah,
I don't think we should go down there.
Do you think? No.
They put a new Defender down there, didn't they, last year?
Yeah, they would winch it out.
It took them 6 hours to dig it out with 360 diggers to get it out.
Wow. Yeah, we won't be going down there.
So it's called the Outback, so you haven't got a winch, so you're not coming back.
Yeah, no entry without a winch. Quad bikes allowed. Wow. Yeah, no, we're not going down there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no.
Pussy.
Yeah, I am. I am a massive pussy. Time to get the AT35 a little bit muddy and get some glory shots. Now when you're off-roading, you're not actually meant to go that quick, but I can't help myself in this. Here we go. Yeah! Woohoo! Oh! It's good fun, this, isn't it? We're going to try some wading, but as we've just said, water is quite scary. We have been told if we stay to the right, we should be okay. This will wade up to 0.8 of a metre, but then this is a bit higher, so that's a standard Isuzu DMax. But let's just go for it. I'm going to keep to the right, I'm going to keep a reasonable speed, get a little bow wave going, that's the plan. See just how deep it is. We have no idea. It might be super deep, it might be not very deep. That's probably... That's deep. That's really, really deep. Oh my... Oh. Yes! Yeah! That was deep. Have I still got a GoPro on the roof? Yeah. Right, time to head to our evening campsite. Get a nice view. This place has been amazing. Massive thanks to John, who owns this adventure playground. It's been absolutely mega. We're going to pick up the other car and then we're going to go and get some outdoor kitchen done. Yeah, what a place to explore a 4x4, and this thing, epic off-road. So I think it's safe to say that I've proved this thing is epic off-road. But that's pretty hardcore off-roading. But this AT35 has a secret, has some very cool equipment on board. So what I'm going to do is head up this beautiful valley just at the back of Kingley Vale, my back garden, and at the top we should be surrounded by the most beautiful countryside, an epic view, and then I can reveal the final pièce de résistance of this AT35, because one of the things it's aimed at is the kind of adventure, you know, outdoor type person who wants to take one of these. Maybe they've had a camper van before, but they want to go out, they want to do some epic off-roading, maybe they want to drive across the outback or some incredible scenery, and then at the end of the day get the tent up, get some food on the go and camp outdoors, because that's what this is all about, this vehicle. But yes, very kind of James to allow me to come up here and get access to this incredible place. It's just absolutely amazing. if you're gonna go wild camping, the first thing you need is one of them. That is the most spectacular view. Now this is Kingley Vale. I actually live just the other side of Kingley Vale, but that is a beautiful view out over Chichester. You've got Chichester Cathedral. If you look really hard, you can probably see Goodwood, and out over to the sea in the far distance. Absolutely stunning. But let me just walk you around the car. Now, it is the end of the day. It's a little bit dirty, so massive apologies to the Isuzu press team and the team of valeters that will hopefully clean it when it gets dropped back. But an awesome thing. But I want to show you this in here, and also I want you to see in the back. So this is a kind of standard truck top really that you might get on a normal pickup, but it's what's inside that's really cool. First things first, this is a fridge. And we've also got, I've got some sand ladders, didn't need those earlier on. We've got tables and all kinds of things, but it's what's in here. This is the bit that makes this just ridiculously cool, this car, because this is an outdoor kitchen. I've got drawers, there's a sink in here. Look, let me just push that out. And I've got a gas hob. Just mega, absolutely mega. So yeah, what I'm now going to try and do is get the roof tent up. I haven't actually done that yet, and I haven't actually read any instructions about how to do it, and Isuzu didn't tell me how to do it, neither did Arctic Trucks. But luckily, behind the camera is James, and he knows everything. Well, welcome to Chamois. Look at this. Just so cool. You've got your sink on the end for when you're washing up. You've got your 3 burners there. You've got loads and loads of storage space. There's a drawer in there. This is your fridge. There's another drawer just underneath there. And then I have to say the tent was actually really, really easy to put up. I don't know whether I'm going to be able to climb up it without killing myself, but we'll give it a go. Ta-da! It's actually, it's got some good space in there. There's 2 people could sleep in there, no problem whatsoever. So I think the next thing we need to do is enjoy the sunset and get some shut-eye. Absolutely mega. Well, it's been a long old day shooting. I am very, very tired. Time for bed. Climbing up my ladder into my tent. Just take my shoes off. Don't want to get my tent muddy. Luckily I have company tonight. Good old Bib will look after me. But what an epic, epic day I've had with the DMax AT35. Now I've got lots and lots of thank yous. Firstly, massive thank you to James and Crawfords for putting me in touch with Isuzu. Thanks for Isuzu for lending me the car and saying I could do pretty much what I wanted with it. I need to say a big thank you to John at Slindon for allowing us access to that incredible 4x4 playground, and also a big thanks to James's cousin for letting us up on this beautiful part of Kingley Vale. And then also behind the camera right now is my mate Nick Williams, who has been taking some epic photos of the day we've had. But yeah, an amazing, amazing vehicle. But put in the comments, what do you think of the AT35? An absolutely epic thing. But right now I'm quite tired actually. So I'll love you and leave you, and I shall see you on the next video. But if you enjoyed that, give me a thumbs up. Comments below are always welcome. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to Petrol Ped for plenty more content to come. And I'll see you on the next video. You take care, guys. Drive safe.